The garden party was in full swing when I arrived. White tents dotted the perfectly manicured lawn. Servers in crisp uniforms circulated with champagne flutes and canapes, and at least 60 guests mingled under the warm afternoon sun. It was Mom's annual spring celebration, bigger and more expensive than last year. I'd noticed the guest list had grown from 40 to 60, and the catering had been upgraded from basic to premium. I spotted her near the marble fountain, surrounded by her friends from the country club, women in pastel dresses and statement jewelry, men in expensive casual wear. She wore a designer dress I recognized from last month's shopping trip, the one we'd seen at Neiman Marcus, the one that cost $4,000. I remembered her trying it on, twirling in front of the mirror, saying, "I deserve this." "There you are," she said when she saw me approaching. Her smile was tight. "You're late. Traffic was bad. Happy spring, Mom." Her friend Margaret looked me over, her gaze lingering on my simple cotton dress. "Is that what you're wearing?" "It's comfortable," I said evenly. Mom's jaw clenched. "Could you at least pretend to make an effort? These are important people." "I'm here, aren't I?" She turned back to her friends, dismissing me. I walked toward the beverage table, exchanging polite greetings with guests I recognized. Most were from Mom's social circle, women who lunched at expensive restaurants, men who played golf at exclusive clubs. I'd grown up around this world but never quite fit into it. Even as a child, I preferred books to parties, saving money instead of spending it. Mom had always found that embarrassing. An hour into the party, I was talking with one of the caterers about their business when Mom appeared at my elbow. "What are you doing?" she hissed. "Having a conversation." With the help, in front of everyone? Her face was flushed. "Do you have any idea how this looks?" I was asking about their catering company. "They do excellent work." "You're making me look bad." Her voice rose, drawing a few glances. "Mom, I was just. You're an embarrassment." The words came out loud and sharp. The entire garden seemed to go quiet. Then her hand connected with my face. The slap echoed across the lawn. My cheek burned. My eyes watered from the impact. 60 people stared at us in stunned silence. "Get out," she screamed. "Get out of my house." I touched my face, feeling the heat there. For a moment, I couldn't move. Then I picked up my purse from the nearby table. "Understood," I said quietly. I walked through the silent crowd, past the shocked faces, past the servers frozen with their trays. Nobody said a word. I got in my car and drove home, my cheeks still stinging. That evening, I sat in my apartment and thought about the accounts. All the accounts I'd been managing for the past 7 years. The ones Mom didn't think I knew about. The ones she certainly didn't know I was funding. It started when Dad died. He'd left Mom the house, but little else. His business, a small consulting firm, had failed 2 years before his death, eating through their savings as he tried desperately to keep it afloat. He'd taken out loans, maxed out credit cards, borrowed from friends. The life insurance barely covered the funeral costs and some of the immediate debts. Mom had been devastated, not just by grief, but by the sudden realization that she was broke. The house still had a $380,000 mortgage. Property taxes were $15,000 annually. She had $67,000 in credit card debt. The car she drove had 2 years left on its lease at $890 per month. Her country club membership, something she insisted was essential for social standing, cost $18,000 per year. She came to me, desperate, 3 months after the funeral. "I can't lose the house. I can't lose everything. This is all I have left of your father." I was 27 then, newly successful in my tech career. I just sold my first startup for $8 million. Mom didn't know about the sale. She'd never asked about my computer job. "How much do you need?" I asked. "The mortgage is 3 months behind. Property taxes are due. I have credit card debt." I looked at the numbers. It was bad, really bad. Without help, she'd lose everything within 6 months. So I made a decision. Through my financial manager, I set up a system. My investment accounts would automatically transfer money to cover Mom's expenses, mortgage, property taxes, utilities, her country club membership, her car payment, her credit cards, everything. The payments came from accounts in my business manager's name. Mom received notifications that an anonymous benefactor had established a trust for her benefit. She never questioned it, never wondered who was behind it. For 7 years, I'd funded her lifestyle. The house, the parties, the designer clothes, the luxury vacations. all of it paid for by the daughter she found embarrassing. I kept working, building my second startup, making careful investments. The $8 million had grown to $40 million. I could afford to support her. It seemed easier than confronting the truth, that she'd never actually become financially independent after Dad's death. But sitting in my apartment with a hand-shaped welt on my face, I made a different decision. Monday morning, I called my financial manager. The accounts supporting Margaret Anderson, I said. I want all automatic transfers stopped immediately. He paused. All of them. Every single one. Mortgage, credit cards, utilities, club memberships. Everything stops today. She'll receive notification that the trust support has ended. Are you sure about this? Completely sure. Understood. I'll process the terminations within the hour. Next, I called the mortgage company directly. This is regarding the account for 2847 Riverside Drive. I'm the guarantor on that mortgage. I'm formally removing my guarantee effective immediately. The representative checked her system. Ms. Anderson, you've been the guarantor for 7 years. If you remove your guarantee, the primary account holder will need to qualify on her own, or the loan will be called. I understand. And you're certain? Yes. I'll process the paperwork. Mrs. Margaret Anderson will be notified within 48 hours. I spent the rest of Monday making similar calls to the credit card companies where I was the authorized payer, the country club where I'd been covering the membership fees, and the luxury car dealership where I'd guaranteed the lease. By Tuesday afternoon, the system I'd built over 7 years was completely dismantled. Wednesday morning, my phone started ringing. Mom's number. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. There's some kind of mistake with my accounts. The bank is saying my mortgage payment was rejected. Call me. Thursday, she called 6 times. I deleted each voicemail without listening. Friday afternoon, she showed up at my office building. Security called up. Tell her I'm not available, I said. She's very insistent, Ms. Anderson. She's saying it's an emergency. Tell her to make an appointment through my assistant. She's asking about some accounts. She seems quite upset. Not my concern. Security convinced her to leave after 20 minutes. That evening, I received a text from my Aunt Linda, Mom's sister. Your mother called me crying. Something about her accounts being frozen? Do you know anything about this? I didn't respond. Saturday brought more calls. Sunday, my phone buzzed constantly. I turned it off and spent the weekend reading. Monday, exactly 1 week after the party, my financial manager called. I'm getting calls from multiple creditors, he said. Your mother's mortgage payment bounced. Her credit cards are being declined. The country club called about unpaid dues. Her car lease company is threatening repossession. As expected. She's also hired a lawyer. They're trying to find out who was behind the trust. They won't find anything actionable. The trust terms explicitly stated that support could be terminated at any time for any reason. They're claiming financial elder abuse. I laughed. She's 62 and perfectly capable of managing her own finances. Or she would be if she lived within her means. They're also claiming you had a verbal agreement to continue support. We had no agreement. I anonymously provided assistance through a trust. That assistance has ended. There's nothing illegal about that. Understood. I'll have our legal team prepare a response. Tuesday afternoon, my assistant buzzed my office. Your mother is in the lobby again. She has someone with her. Looks like a lawyer. Same answer. I'm not available. They're demanding to see you. Something about fiduciary responsibility. Call building security. If they're not gone in 5 minutes, we'll get the police involved for trespassing. They left after 10 minutes. Wednesday, the calls intensified. Mom called from different numbers, friends' phones, blocked numbers I didn't recognize. I ignored all of them. Thursday, she sent a letter by courier to my office. My assistant brought it in, marked urgent. I opened it, 3 pages of her handwriting, becoming increasingly desperate. I don't understand what happened. The bank says someone stopped paying my mortgage. My credit cards are maxed out, and the payments aren't going through. The country club is threatening to revoke my membership. My car is being repossessed next week. Please, if you know anything about who was helping me, I need to find them. I'm going to lose everything. At the bottom, I'm sorry about the party. I was stressed. Please help me. I put the letter in my desk drawer and returned to work. Friday afternoon, my financial manager called again. Your mother's house is going into foreclosure. The bank filed papers this morning. She has 90 days. That's standard procedure. Her credit cards have been canceled for non-payment. The country club terminated her membership. Her car was repossessed yesterday. Thank you for the update. There's one more thing. She started a GoFundMe, claiming she's a widow facing homelessness due to financial hardship. That's her choice. It's raised $300 in 2 days. Not surprising. Her actual friends know she's been living beyond her means for years. 2 weeks after the party, Aunt Linda called from Mom's phone. You need to talk to your mother, she said. She's falling apart. The house is in foreclosure. She has no money. She can't even afford groceries. She can get a job, I said calmly. She's 62 years old. Plenty of people work at 62. In fact, most people don't have the luxury of retiring early. How can you be so cold? She's your mother. She slapped me in front of 60 people and threw me out of her house. She said that was a misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. She was clear about how she felt. So you're just going to let her lose everything? I'm not making her lose anything. She's losing things because she can't afford them. That's called consequences. But you could help her. I could. I'm choosing not to. This is cruel. What's cruel is slapping your daughter at a party because she talked to a caterer. What's cruel is calling her an embarrassment in front of her entire social circle. I'm simply stepping back from a situation that no longer serves me. Aunt Linda hung up on me. 3 weeks after the party, my financial manager sent me a detailed report. Mom's house sale was scheduled for foreclosure auction. Her credit rating had dropped 200 points. She'd moved in with Aunt Linda temporarily. She'd applied for several retail jobs but hadn't been hired yet. She's also been telling people that you cut her off, he added. Some of her friends have been calling your office. Forward all such calls to our legal team, I said. Already done. A month after the party, I received one final letter, hand-delivered by courier, marked personal. Inside was a single page. I know it was you. Linda helped me figure it out. You were paying for everything, for 7 years. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. But now I understand. You were taking care of me, and I treated you terribly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please help me. I'm begging you. I'll lose the house next month. I have nowhere to go. Please. I read it twice. Then I pulled out my phone and typed a response. You're right. It was me. I paid your mortgage, your bills, your country club fees, your car lease, your credit cards. For 7 years, I funded the lifestyle you thought you were entitled to. You never asked where the money came from. You never questioned the anonymous trust. You just spent it. And while I was paying for your designer dresses and garden parties, you called me an embarrassment. You slapped me in front of your friends. So now you can figure out how to support yourself like the rest of us. Consider this your education in financial independence. I didn't send it. Instead, I deleted it and wrote something simpler. The trust that was supporting you has ended. I have no information about who established it or why it was terminated. I suggest you speak with a financial advisor about living within your means. I sent that one. Her response came immediately. It was you. I know it was you. How can you do this to your own mother? I blocked her number. The house sold at auction 6 weeks after the party. Mom moved into a small apartment across town, working part-time at a department store. I heard all this through Aunt Linda's occasional updates, which I didn't ask for but didn't stop. My business continued to thrive. The startup I'd been building went public 3 months after the party, valuing my shares at $70 million. I bought a larger apartment downtown, donated significantly to charities supporting domestic violence survivors, and established a scholarship fund for women in technology. Sometimes I drive past Mom's old house. A young family lives there now. They've added a playground in the backyard where the party tent used to stand. I never responded to any more of Mom's messages. Eventually, they stopped coming. My financial manager asked me once if I regretted my decision. I thought about it carefully before answering. No, I said. I regret enabling her for 7 years. I regret not letting her face reality sooner. I regret thinking that money could buy me respect or love, or even basic decency. But I don't regret stopping. That's fair, he said. I built my success by recognizing when an investment wasn't paying returns. Mom was simply the hardest investment to walk away from, but like any good business person, I learned to cut my losses. She taught me that love has conditions. I simply taught her that support does too. We both learned our lessons that spring. The difference is, I learned mine voluntarily.